And we've got a hell of a show today. We've got Dr. Janice Johnston's coming on and can tell us everything Fulton County. She's on the state election board. She's been the woman who's shown a lot of bravery and tenacity in Georgia to get to the bottom of the election fraud. And we're lucky to have her today, and you're going to enjoy this. So, Doc, thanks for coming on this morning. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So you have been steadfast, and you've fought the good fight. You've been attacked. I guess give us your overall feeling. Let's just start off with the federal raid in Fulton County, and you must be feeling pretty good right now. Give us how are you thinking about all this?
Well, Todd, it's been a good week. The state election board has been seeking the documents that actually the FBI took away on Wednesday. And it's really, it's quite a relief, actually, that they are now in the hands of the FBI, if they're not in our hands. We had been trying to obtain these documents for well over a year and longer than that, actually. Yes, it's a good week.
What can you tell us which documents those are that they actually have their hands on that you've been trying to get?
Well, as best I know, they took all of the election documents from the 2020 election. Around 700 boxes is what reported. And I heard that they took some phones and laptops also, which would be, I think, very important. We were seeking the electronic files from the election. So in the boxes, they should have the ballots and the ballot envelopes.
Yeah.
Absentee ballot envelopes. There should be an absentee ballot envelope for every single absentee ballot. And of course, all the other ballots and provisional ballots and duplicated ballots, etc. So, and along with that would also be the tabulator tapes or the ballot scanner tapes. Those are the tapes that go along with each ballot scanner or each ballot box, so to speak. There should be an opening tape that says there are 0 votes on each ballot scanner when the election starts, and a closing tape with the total number of ballots that were scanned. So that's the paper documentation of what actually was in each ballot box for the election, for early voting and for election day voting. Along with that are other documents such as recap sheets. These are forms that are filled out by the poll workers at the election sites. And in addition, other supporting documents to confirm that the counts were correct and that all ballots are accounted for. Additionally, they should have the numbered list of voters, the voters that actually came in to vote during the election. There should be a paper trail for every single voter that came in to vote or that voted in the election, and have the actual voter rolls to compare that to. So it's sort of putting the whole election back together again. You want all the documents to support each ballot and each vote.
So there has been a long history behind this, 5-6 years worth of, trying to get these ballots, court cases that got very close, and then the judge dismissed it and frustrated a lot of people. A lot of people didn't even know if the ballots still were there, but it seems like they were. So the FBI is going to have a big job going through all this and trying to make heads or tails of it, correct?
Well, hopefully all the ballots are there and all of the documents are there. The county has claimed that they are all there until Wednesday. And then suddenly on Wednesday, it sounded like their tune changed a little bit and they no longer would be responsible for everything being there. I hope that's not a setup for use that when there are missing ballots or missing envelopes or missing documents, that it's not their fault. But I'm relieved that they're in the hands of the FBI. My understanding is they're in Virginia.
Wow. So the state election board, to shift a little bit, has been really the only entity in the great state of Georgia that's made progress on the elections. Where do you see the future of the state election board going now that you've gotten real results?
The future of the state election, I hope the future of the state election board will be to continue to pave the way for it to really be an independent agency that oversees elections in Georgia, as it should be. There should be some oversight provided to elections, whether it's an oversight of 159 counties and their supervisors and their election workers and their conduct of the election. But also there needs to be some supervision of the election division of the Secretary of State's office, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They play an integral part in elections in general because they hold the voter rolls.
Mm-hmm.
They coordinate election day and election night and reporting thereof. They are the communicator to all of the counties as far as official election bulletins that go out. They also provide the forms that are used in the election, which become the part of the chain of custody and the paper trail that we all should have, with an election.
So you've been one of the main, or the only, I guess, entity that's got results. How are you going to drive a free and fair election into 2026 in November for the midterms? Do you see any things that need to be done, I guess, prior to that election?
I see, the role of the state election board is fairly simple. It's to generally ensure that elections are conducted fairly and legally and uniformly and orderly. So by that oversight, we're also charged with investigating allegations of election law violations. Mm-hmm. So very simply, our ask would be that people follow the law. Mm-hmm. We have good election law and state election board rules, so they should follow the law and follow the rules. They should count accurately, and be able to prove it, and just do the right thing.
Your government doesn't care about you. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. It contains life-saving medications like ivermectin, Z-Pak, and antibiotics. Stock them before they block them.
A warm welcome here at the National Press Club. Welcome to the journalists, welcome to the Embraer team, and welcome to the other guests that we have here. We're going to announce, and as some of you guessed it right when they came in, the first E2 order by an American operator. And that operator is Avello. We believe this is really a strategic shift to unlock profitability for the customer. I'm very pleased that we have Andrew Levy here as the CEO of Avello, and I'm very pleased to give the stage to share a little bit more about what Avello is going to do with the E2 195. Thank you very much.
Couldn't be more excited to be here as part of this historic announcement. We have such a great cultural fit as companies, so we're very, very excited to be Embraer's newest customer. We launched our airline in April of 21, and our target is focusing on small secondary airports of large metro areas. We've carried over 8 million customers since we started on 63,000 flights. And we've done all these things with 1,200 of the greatest crew members I could ever imagine having, and many of them are here with me today. This is the right airplane for us. It's going to open up opportunities for us that no other aircraft can serve. The best thing about the airplane, of course, is you will not find a middle seat on this airplane. It doesn't exist. We won't have any to offer. It's going to be the best cabin in the United States, and we're so excited about that. This is going to elevate our experience to the highest level, and we think our customers are absolutely going to love the airplane.
So there's been issues with funding, with support from the other branches of government. Do you have what you need on the board to do your job at this point?
I think I would respectfully request more funding for the state election board as we are evolving into an independent agency that involves the need for hiring more staff and being able to support some operational features that would go along with hiring more staff. And I see perhaps in the future taking more charge of the investigations that heretofore have been under the control of the Secretary of State's office.
Mm-hmm.
At some point in time, it may be that the state election board is in complete control of their own investigators in investigating election law violations. The Secretary of State needs investigators for their other divisions of that they see to.
Mm-hmm.
But for elections, perhaps that will all be under the agency of the state election board in the future.
Well, on that note, there's been issue with, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I guess evidence that hasn't been presented to you in a timely manner. Let's just say it that way. Do you have any insight or clarity on getting what you need on cases that have been filed in the past?
Well, Todd, I'm not an investigator.
Yeah.
So I should, I shouldn't speak about things that I really don't know about. Being
Sure.
an investigator requires certain training and experience. So I'm the recipient of those investigations.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the greater scheme of things, I would love to see our goal to have election law violations or potentially election law violations investigated in a timely way,
Mm-hmm.
so that we could hear these cases and address these issues before the 2-year statute of limitations is up.
Yep.
Okay? And ideally, many of these allegations of election law violations should be able to be investigated much more quickly and heard quickly. Many of the violations are not serious. Everything is serious, but they're not as serious as others.
Yeah.
I would love for the board to have time to look at the larger picture of election conduct, where if we're seeing too many violations in a certain area of elections, that we could address it more as a systemic problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that would give us good information to turn to the legislature and recommend perhaps changes in election law that would help to solve those problems.
Thank you. The prosecutor came from out of state. Do you have confidence, and I don't want to put words in your mouth or put you in a bad position, but in, I guess, local officials being able to not prosecute, but investigate some of these issues as far as the Georgia, Attorney General's office, et cetera?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, I mean, the prosecutor that I guess was involved in this was from Missouri that they brought in, and the word is that maybe that was done so that they wouldn't get any kind of leaks or anything inside of Georgia. At least that's what I've been told. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I do not have any information concerning that.
Okay, fair enough. Last question: voter rolls have been an issue in Georgia.
Yes.
So, any thoughts on that before I let you go?
Well, certainly the voter rolls, to me, are probably one of the two most important aspects of elections that need to be done exactly right. They need to be current and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a challenge because voters are joining the voter rolls and being removed from the voter rolls for all the time. It's certainly like a live document. There are daily changes to the voter rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a lot of attention and a lot of attention to detail. And we see that there may be some challenges with the voter rolls in Georgia. The Election Assistance Commission just came out with its latest report. And at first, I thought maybe we had seen a significant improvement in the voter rolls, but I found in in their data the inactive voter rolls, and when you factor in the inactive voter rolls to the active voter rolls, Georgia has gotten worse, and Georgia is over registered. They have more people registered to vote than is actually the citizen voting age population. So there probably could be some improvement in our attention to the voter rolls, because inactive voters can vote. They're just put on a different list of voters, but all they have to do is request a ballot and they're active again.
Yeah.
So yes, and the Department of Justice has requested the voter rolls to use for cross-state comparison, to look for those registrants that are registered in multiple states. You should only be registered in one state, and that's the state where you live. And so the Department of Justice would like to look into that and look for other issues for voter rolls, whether it's double registrations or inaccuracies, or perhaps non-citizens on the voter rolls. And I don't understand, but Georgia is refusing to provide the unredacted voter rolls to the Department of Justice. The State Election Board did pass a resolution and recommended that Georgia share its voter rolls with the Department of Justice, but I think that needs to be worked out with the Secretary of State.
Dr. Johnston, thank you so much. I know you are in demand all over for interviews. I've seen you all over the news. I appreciate you taking time to speak with us, and thank you for all your steadfastness on the board, and look forward to having you again down the road, if that's okay.
Todd, it's great. Great talking to you.
All right, take care. Thank you.